Okay, lesson 3. We're looking at cause and effect. We said something moves. We called something moves the variable x, and something pushes. We call that which causes the variable to move the difference of potential or potential difference. And then we defined 2 more concepts, movement and resistance. This is what this lesson is all about. Again, knowledge is written in space. We're going to discover it. So what moves in space? We said charges move in space. What pushes these charges? A difference in voltage. Voltage pushes charges. What comes from the sun? Light, energy, photons. We said this is the first source of energy. What causes the heat to travel from high to low? Temperature, difference of temperature. So what is temperature? It's potential difference for the element fire. What about the air? The air is an amount of air. We could say volume or mass of air. Normally we use volume for the laws. And the volume of air is pushed by a difference of pressure, which is force per unit area. In pascals, the unit. Same thing for water. An amount, a volume of blood moves from the heart to the brains, pushed by the difference of pressure. The heart exerts pressure to push the blood up. And a body, a mass of an apple, for instance, is pushed towards the earth by the difference of gravitational potential. So something moves, something pushes, and when something moves, the movement of charge in time, in physics, we call it current, and it's measured in ampere. The movement of heat in time, in physics, we call it power. So what is power? Energy over time. It's how fast the energy is flowing. A movement of blow of a volume of air is what we call wind. A movement of water is what we call water flow. And the movement of bodies is what we call motions, the amount of mass per unit time that is flowing. That's the idea of motion. Now, we also said that if there is a path, that means if we want something to move, there has to be an opposition to that movement and also a path to allow that variable x to move. So when we're talking about electric systems, space or electric systems, we have internet with the bandwidth would be the resistance to the flow of energy in the form of waves. Now, if it's electricity, we call it a resistor, a lamp, right? So any form of energy that moves through space, including charges that move through space, we'll have to do it through a certain path. The resistor is the path for electricity. The path for heat has 3 possibilities. If it travels through space, we call it radiation. If it travels through Earth, we call it conduction. And if it travels through air and water, fluids, convection. 3 paths that allow the heat to travel from the sun to us. Wind, pipes. For air to move, there has to be some pipes like our nostrils. And volume and mass. There has to be some pipes also. A volume of water or blood moves through pipes, arteries, veins. And the concept of friction is the resistance to the motion of bodies. So these are the words that represent the concept of resistance in physics, and the words that represents the different types of movement in physics. So far, so good.